Thursday, September 24. Welcome to CGN News. The leader of Trinidad and Tobago's main United National Congress, the UNC, Kamla Persad Bissessar, is ignoring calls for her to step down following the party's defeat in the August 10 general elections. In a virtual report on Monday to party supporters, Persad Bissessar said that she was aware of the continued cries from some who are upset that they were not selected. Several former government ministers and opposition legislators have called for her removal and have even erected billboards with messages urging her to step down. But UNC Public Relations Officer Anita Haynes says all 18 elected UNC legislators have full confidence in the UNC leader. Persad Bissessar, who in 2010 was elected as the country's first woman prime minister, told her detractors, "We have a greater duty at hand than to respond to convenient naysayers." Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados, wants the Cave Hill campus of the University of the West Indies renamed in honor of the late former Prime Minister, Professor Owen Arthur. Mottley, who was speaking on Wednesday in the House of Assembly, made the announcement as the lower chamber paid tribute to the parliamentarian who led Barbados for 14 years and served in the parliament for close to 34 years. Mottley said she already approached the vice-chancellor at the University of the West Indies to indicate that if the Barbados Labour Party could have one wish, it would be to rename the Cave Hill campus after Owen Seymour Arthur. Premier of Nevis, Mark Brantley, continues to forgo his full salary and benefits as he stands in solidarity with those affected financially by the economic shutdown associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. In April, Brantley announced that he would forego his salary package until the COVID-19 pandemic had passed. Brantley, who is also the Minister of Finance, during his monthly press conference on Tuesday, said he has no idea when the pandemic will end, so he doesn't know when he will be able to collect a salary. In May 2020, cabinet ministers also took a 3-month 10% pay cut. Premier of the British Virgin Islands, the BVI, Andrew Fahy, says that the territory's borders will be reopened to visitors on December 1. December 1 marks the anniversary of the first known case of COVID-19 in China. Fahy, while addressing the launch of the BVI tourism campaign on Monday, said that the government intends to reopen the territory in the safest way possible using science and technology as a guide. However, he did not reveal details of the plan. The government is using a phased approach to the opening of the territory's borders amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Phase 1 of the controlled border re-entry process commenced on June 2 for naturalized citizens and permanent residents. Jamaica's tourism minister says that despite the slowing down of the sector in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, over 90% of the planned investments to increase the island's hotel room stock are still on the table. Minister Edmund Bartlett said the government still intended to increase hotel rooms locally to 25,000 by 2023. According to Bartlett, 90% of planned investments for the industry are still on target. The 1,700-room hotel to be built in St. James and the 2,000 rooms planned for Green Island in Hanover are among the developments he indicated that are still in the making. He was speaking recently during the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, JHTA, 59th Annual General Meeting and Virtual Market. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture has launched a crowdfunding campaign to promote projects aimed at strengthening food security in rural communities of Haiti and Antigua and Barbados. These islands, the CMC reports, are suffering from extreme vulnerability in the face of the pandemic caused by the novel coronavirus. The campaign, #IJoinTheIICA Challenge, targets people from all regions of the Americas. It seeks to obtain resources that will enable the provision of basic agricultural inputs such as seeds, irrigation equipment, and other supplies. Overseas now, demonstrators and activists in Louisville, Kentucky say they will continue to fight for justice after a grand jury decided not to charge any of the police officers involved in the killing of Breona Taylor. Within minutes of the announcement, demonstrators marched from Jefferson Square chanting, "No justice, no peace." Others simply sat or stood in stunned silence. While the panel brought no charges for Taylor's killing, one officer was charged with wanton endangerment for blindly firing into her neighbor's apartments. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron said the 3 officers had fired 32 shots in the early hours of March 13 in response to a single round fired by Taylor's boyfriend when the police broke down the door while the couple was sleeping. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear and other city leaders demanded that Cameron release more evidence from the case. U.S. President Donald Trump praised Cameron and called Wednesday's decision really brilliant. Mourners have been honoring judge and liberal icon Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg as she lies in repose at the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington. Ginsburg, an advocate for gender equality and civil rights, died on Friday aged 87 from cancer. Since her death, makeshift memorials have been set up outside the Supreme Court. Flowers, photographs, candles, and signs have lined the steps. The second woman to serve as a Supreme Court Justice, Ginsburg, will on Friday become the first woman to lie in state at the U.S. Capitol. The daughter of Jewish immigrants, Ginsburg struggled against sexism for decades. She graduated top of her class at Columbia Law School but received no job offers. She will be buried next week at Arlington National Cemetery. Iran has slammed Saudi Arabia's delirious talk as it hit back at a damning speech by the kingdom's ruler during an annual meeting of world leaders at the United Nations. The Saudi king called on the UN General Assembly for a comprehensive solution to stop Iran from obtaining weapons of mass destruction. The 84-year-old monarch alleged that Iran has exploited its 2015 nuclear deal with world powers to create its terrorist networks, which has produced nothing but chaos, extremism, and sectarianism. In response, a spokesman for the Iranian Foreign Ministry accused Saudi Arabia of distorting facts, branding it the main financial and logistical supporter of terrorism in the region. Coronavirus sniffing dogs have been deployed by Finland at their main international airport in a 4-month trial, a move they say that could prove cost-effective in identifying travelers who are infected. The dogs, which are of 4 different breeds and trained by Finland's Smell Detection Association, took up their duties on Wednesday at the Helsinki airport as part of the government-financed trial. Anna Hilm-Jorkman, a University of Helsinki professor of equine and small animal medicine, said if it works, it will prove to be a good coronavirus screening method at many other places, such as hospitals, ports, elderly people's homes, sports venues, and cultural events. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.